Hey everybody, it's Dr. Dave, Psychiatry. Thanks for coming to the YouTube channel today. Again, I'm here to remind you that if medication fixes what's wrong for you, you have a medical problem, not a mental problem. Today I want to talk about a gal that reminded me of something that was just pretty exciting in some ways and interesting, I think, hopefully for you. If you're in treatment with any kind of medication for your brain chemistry and you're not doing well, sometimes just a little amount of difference in medication can make a huge difference for you, how you feel. So if you've seen my video before, the key analogy, amount matters, that's really what this is today, but it's another clinical experience. Again, just to offer to you as encouragement that sometimes things can just look terrible, and then the next thing you know, they're better. So I pulled a chart of this gal. She won't know who she is. She might if she pays attention, but the point is that I printed the chart because I wanted to look at her previous visit with me several months ago. She was doing really, really terrible after having done very, very well for a quite long time, taking a combination of Prozac and Xanax, and I think something for her sleep. But having done months of doing very well, she came in last visit, or the previous visit to this one, and said she was depressed, not sleeping well, not eating well, not able to focus on stuff, not able to concentrate, feeling very irritable, feeling just terrible. And it's gone from, from feeling really good here to you really dropped off and felt terrible, had no idea why. Well, because of the medicines she was on and the fact that she had responded well to Prozac in the past, we discussed it, and the decision was pretty simple. If you benefited from serotonin boosting with Prozac, you're probably going to benefit from a little bit more. So we literally just went from 20 milligrams of Prozac, which is the starting dose, to 40 milligrams of Prozac, which is the next notch. The notches in Prozac being 20, 40, 60, 80, and the rule of thumb generally for me that you need at least 1 month at that dose before we make a decision. But that's actually pretty fast, because some clinicians will leave people on Prozac for 6 months or 8 months before they make a decision. Honestly, after 1 month, I believe I can make a good decision. So she raised the Prozac to two capsules instead of one, so 40 milligrams instead of 20, and she came back, and a month later she said, "It's like a miracle." She said, the quote was, "It's crazy." I said, How can such a small amount of medication change make such a difference? She said, "I don't know, but it doesn't matter because I feel normal again." So again, getting back to the amount matters, the key analogy, if you are struggling with medication and you haven't done well in the most recent times, the first thing to ask is not, do you need a different medicine? The first thing to ask is, are you taking enough of the medicine that has helped you in the past? So that type of lesson is something that I think is helpful to either you as a patient, where you can self-advocate and say, "Look, doc, I've done pretty well and I want to do better, and this worked." And so you can sort of lead the treatment a lot of times with the clinician just by telling them how you feel and what your confidence level is in the medicine. Certainly I listen to patients all the time. If they say something to me like, "Hey doc, I'm not where I want to be, but this has done pretty good so far. Let's take it to the next level." That makes it so easy for me as a doctor to say, "Fine, we have confidence in that." Now, the mistake that people make a lot of times would be to say, "Okay, 20 Prozac isn't working. Well, let's try something new. Let's try something that you haven't tried before. Or let's try something that the pharmaceutical representative just came and told me about. There's a brand new medicine, which, by the way, might cost, hundreds of dollars per month, but it's a brand new medicine. Let's try it." I'm not in favor of it's a brand new medicine. Let's try it. I'm in favor of, if you've got traction with something and something fails, try to get more traction with that medicine. In the past, people have talked about Prozac poop out. I don't really believe in that, because Prozac is serotonin system typically is not a medicine that you get tolerant of. Now, the description of Prozac poop out and what people have said, I think just reflects the phenomenon that sometimes you need more. If your serotonin was here, it's up to here with the Prozac, and suddenly you find yourself back here. Well, a lot of times more Prozac is going to solve the problem, and that was the example for this gal today that I wanted to share with you. It's not just about Prozac. It's actually not just about the serotonin boosters. The serotonin boosters, Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, Celexa, Lexapro. But it's also about the other medicines. If you're getting traction with Zyprexa and you feel like it's not going so well and you want to build on the success that you've had before, certainly going from 2.5 or 5 as a Zyprexa up to 10 or 15 or 20, as long as you're tolerant to that and as long as you're not having side effects. You can discuss that with your doctor. You can make that offer. The dopamine suppressors, Zyprexa, Seroquel, Risperdal, Vraylar, Abilify, Latuda, Geodon, all of the dopamine suppressors, they have dosage ranges. Same with the benzodiazepines. If a 1/4 milligram of Xanax is helping you and you feel like it's not going so well, if your GABA used to be here with a 1/4 milligram of Xanax and now you feel like you're back here because you're having anxiety symptoms, well, guess what? It's okay to raise the dosage, and you need to explore the dosage range before you go from low-dose Xanax to low-dose Ativan to low-dose Klonopin to low-dose Valium. So my approach, as I've taught before, but just reinforcing it, is that amount matters. And today was just a wonderful example of this gal coming in and literally saying, hey, doc, it's crazy. I can't believe that this one extra capsule of Prozac changes completely how I feel. So again, if you're struggling, ask your provider, the person you're working with, your prescription writer, the person that's working with you with your brain chemistry. If you're struggling, ask them, is there any room to go with the medicines that have helped you before? That's the core message from today. And you, the two of you can make that decision yourselves. That's my encouragement. That's how I think about the topic of incremental dosage increases with medication. And I hope that's helpful to you. I'm Dr. Dave, Psychiatry. Thanks for coming to the YouTube channel today.